Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cafe Witch Podcast. I am Cabin Black, your host, and I want to carry on the series of CWP in the Classroom. So let's get started. Today, I want to cover a new topic, if you will. Last class, I addressed what whiteness was, and just to go over some notes from last class. Let's see here. I'm going to kind of go over, not kind of, but I'm going to go over some notes here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. So I'll make sure I edit that part out. Okay, so I'm going to go over some notes from last class. So we went over what whiteness was. So just to kind of go over the material again, whiteness is a hegemonic system that perpetuates certain dominant ideologies about who receives power and privilege. Who receives power and privilege. Whiteness maintains itself in cultures through power dynamics within language, religion, class, race, relations, and sexual orientation. So one of these words here I want to kind of go over before we get into the class is what ideologies are. I think that's important to address. Okay, so this is coming from Merriam-Webster. An ideology is a system of set beliefs, values, and ideas that shapes how a group or an individual perceives the world and acts within it. Again, an ideology is a systematic set of beliefs, values, and ideas that shapes how a group or individual perceives the world and acts within it. Now, I believe one of the last live I did, live number 5, I believe it was, I went over what a cult was. So let me go over the definition again of what cult is. All right. This is also coming from Merriam-Webster. Cult. A cult is typically defined as a social group centered around extreme devotion to a charismatic leader, ideology, or set of practices. Now let's see what a synonym of a cult is. So here are some synonyms, not cinnamon, synonyms. Here are some synonyms for a cult. Depending on the context, the best synonyms for cult are sect, fandom, or craze. It generally refers to an unorthodox religious group, a devoted following of a particular interest, or a popular temporary trend. So here's some more words for you. Sect, faction, denomination, fringe group, fandom, following, devotees, craze, fad, obsession. Now let's go back to ideologies. An ideology is a systematic set of beliefs, values, and ideas that shapes how a group or an individual perceives the world and acts within it. And acts, like acting, acts within it. That's an ideology. So you can associate, there's some overlapping between ideology and cult. Now let's go back to what whiteness is. All right. Whiteness is a hegemonic system that perpetuates certain dominant ideologies about who perceives power and privilege. Power and privilege. Whiteness maintains itself in cultures through dynamics within language, religion, class, race relations, sexual orientation, etc. Now, that sounds like to me, I'm not saying whiteness is a cult, but what I am saying is that it's in the atmosphere of cult. It's in the room. I'm not saying whiteness is a sect, a fad, a following, a doctrine. I'm not saying whiteness is a religious ideology. I'm not saying whiteness is a worldview per se. Or maybe it is. Nonetheless, if whiteness is a hegemonic system that perpetuates dominant ideologies, mainstream ideologies, about who receives power and privilege. Whiteness maintains itself, it's strengthened, it is held together, it exists, it is strengthened. How? Whiteness is strengthened, I like that word, through cultures. And through power dynamics Within what? Concerning cultures and power dynamics, what are these tools? What are these rituals? What are these transportation modules? How does this whiteness move about and around through cultures and through power dynamics? Okay, it does this through language, religion, religion. We can just take a pause right there. Whiteness strengthens itself. Whiteness strengthens itself through cultures. So it lives and exists in cultures. And it strengthens itself and lives through power dynamics. Power dynamics. And its vehicle within these cultures, within these power dynamics, is language. Name some languages. Okay. English is one of them. Greek is one of them. There's different variations of English. There's different variations of Greek. What's another one? Arabic. Okay. There's different variations of Arabic. What's another one? Hebrew. There's different variations of Hebrew. What's another one? Spanish. What's another language? Dutch. What's another language? German. What's another language? Mandarin. What's another language? Tagalog. What's another language? Portuguese. Whiteness drives around. Whiteness drives around, blasting its sounds in language. Whiteness drives around in religion. Name some religions. Christianity, okay. Islam, that's another one. Name another one. Can you help me name some? Buddhism, but Buddhism is not a religion, it's a way of life. But yet it could exist there as well. Hinduism. Possibly. It drives around in Hinduism. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Judaism? Does whiteness drive around in Judaism? Does whiteness drive around in Catholicism? Because we know, as an American, we know whiteness drives around in Christianity all day long. Let's continue. Whiteness also drives around in class, social status. Social status. From high class to the